Well, good morning. I come to you from the great state of Maine. Cold this morning. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. It is 3 below zero and the wind is blowing. We got a big snowstorm coming tomorrow afternoon into Monday. So I had big plans today to come down here and work on windows and the door. You can see my door opening. The whole fish house is finished, except that I've left that wall unfinished. I'm waiting for a good video day. I thought today would be it. It was bright. It's still bright blue sky, but it's windy and it's cold. So that doesn't make for a really good, Let's take videos and so that you guys can follow along how I skin the fish house, as well as put on the batten strips. This is the leftover piece. When you rip your 2x4s, you're left over with this 1/4-inch piece. After the top is put on all the way around, then one of these batten strips goes on absolutely every one of the pieces of the frame. You can see them, they're little chunks. But that's what the secret is to this fish house. Because that batten strip protects that tarp for years and years and years. And if you need to replace a piece of tarp, say you got a hole right here, it's very simple. You can take off the batten strips on the outside and you can staple on a patch that's just the size of that square, and then put your batten strips back on and your repair is made. The top that it took to do this fish house was 12 feet by 20, and it is a 20 mil top. That's the roof, all 4 walls, everything. And there's a section left over that's probably 4 feet by, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet. But you don't throw that piece away either. Fold it up, roll it up, put it in a safe place, and that is your repair kit for down the road if you need it. I haven't needed it. Like I said in the past, the only thing that I've needed to do is the roof. If you leave the roof exposed to the sunlight will take out the roof within 4 or 5 years. So what I've gone to on my roofs is a steel roof. I top it first because that keeps us tight. And then after that, then I install a steel roof right over the top of the top, screw it down, and then I'm done with that. But, so I want to talk about windows today too. We talked about the top, and I'm going to, when it's a warmer day, I'm going to work on that wall so I can bring you through how I put the windows together. I want to bring you through how I build the door, because these are the things that are really complicated if you're not a builder, but if you know the basics, they're very simple. Like the windows, if you look at YouTube videos, people really get lost when it comes to making a window. And the only reason I can say that is because there's so many, heavy windows in people's fish houses. Like solid vinyl windows. Number one, they're expensive, but on top of that, they're extremely heavy. And the whole deal in my fish houses is light, mobile. I keep them as light as possible and as cheap as possible. And you're not going to get any cheaper window than this. This is a piece of plexiglass from Home Depot for under $4. And it'll fit right in there. Now, this is what's called the rough opening. This right here is exactly 8 inches by 10 inches. So when you make a rough opening, which is scrap wood really, by the time while you're framing this up, you're gonna have these small pieces left over, especially this piece here, left over from ends. So this is basically building the window for free, which keeps the cost down in here, but also keeps weight down. You make the rough opening 8 1/4 inches tall by 10 1/4 inches tall. This piece of plexiglass is 8 inches by 10 inches. That allows you 1/8 inch all the way around, so when you get ready to put your glass in, it will fit. No questions asked, no problems. Now right now you can see it passes right through. So what do? On your table saw, you rip a board. Any board is 3/4 of an inch, and it doesn't matter if you lose 1/4 of an inch of visibility, because all you got to do is be able to get your eyes out there and see what's going on. See if you got any flags, or see if somebody's trying to sneak in and steal your flag. What I do on a table saw is I take a piece of, usually it's the leftover materials from building my door. What I build my doors out of is V-match pine 1x6, and I'll have some scrap lumber left over, because that's literally all this takes. And then I'll rip it on the table saw 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, little wood stock, and then you nail that in on the outside, so that when you push this plexiglass in there, it comes up against the block that you're going to put all the way around, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, 4 little pieces, all it takes. And you nail those. I use a 5D galvanized nail. It's a siding nail. It's got a flat head on it, and just 2 of those, boom boom, and that'll hold in the trim piece that holds in the plexiglass. And I will set the camera up for that window over there when I do that wall and get to it. It's not going to be today. It is 3 below zero. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a good building day. It's not going to be. If I had a heated garage that this thing fit in, that would be perfect. But today I'm going to come down, and we're getting ready for that storm too. So basically going to come down here today, get this thing buttoned up so that I can keep the snow out of it. I really wanted to get it covered to keep the snow out of it, so it's covered now. So for now, I'll put a tarp over the door and staple that on for the snowstorm. I got some little pieces of tarp down there. I'll do the same thing over my windows. I might work on a couple, we'll see. But the temperatures without gloves are pretty brutal. So I don't see that happening either. These plexiglass are just covered with a piece of plastic right now to protect them. This is by far the thinnest plexiglass that I've ever used for windows, but it won't be a problem. I've always had a stash, and there was some stuff that was a full 1/4 inch thick, but this will be no problem at all. It'll fit in there nicely. I'll take the covering off it, and voila, we've got true fish house windows. This is nothing that I've made up. The fish houses that they've been building in this state for years and years and years had a plexiglass window with this kind of framework. Usually they didn't even have the big picture window that I've got over on this side. This is an aluminum window out of a mobile home. It's just it's kind of been my trade feature in every fish house that I've built. I really like the big picture window that you see here to the side. So anyways, that's the story there. And let's see what we got. We're running 9 minutes on time. We talked about, I had a couple guys wanting to know techniques and stuff like that. So anyways, today we talked about the window. We'll talk about the door when I install it. I'll bring you along for that. And then, but basically I want to talk about the windows and how we hook the top to this building. By the time I get the windows and door on, then it'll be time to work on the buddy heater. So we can come in here and have coffee and a nice warm fish house. I have a bait. That's why I want to talk about tricks and techniques a little bit here. I have a bait that I think probably a lot of people overlook. And you know, have to buy all your bait from the bait store and stuff like that. But I have a bait that I've been using for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And it's right in your refrigerator 90% of the time. It wears like iron. In other words, most of the time, one little piece of bait will last you all day or last you all night if you're fishing for freshwater smelts. I've never used it down on the coast for sea run smelts, but I'll bet you it would work just as good down there. But it wears like iron. You got any guesses? If you got any guesses, now'd be time to think about them. Maybe you ought to wait till next video. Tell you what kind of bait it is. I won't be that cruel. When you buy, my wife purchases, you know, cut up chicken, stuff like that, chicken thighs. I don't know what they cost, doesn't matter, pretty cheap. That's the way I like them. I'm not really a white meat kind of guy. I like my chicken thighs, so she keeps us in chicken thighs. But before I cook every single one of them, I'll take a package of, they come 6 in a package. Once in a while, I'll take a package and I'll rip the skin off. The chicken skin. Now that chicken skin is for jigging. It doesn't get any better than that. You take your little jig lure and you want to cut just sometimes just 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch, depending on what you're fishing for. Sometimes you'll want to cut it out so that it's 1 inch long by 1/4 of an inch. But I'll take that, I have a little meat board in the fish house, and I'll strip that out, and I'll put that on my hook. And you can't pull it off. Like I said, it wears like iron. And if you're fishing for freshwater smelts, it's perfect. You put that on your, because you never touch a smelt anyways when you catch him. You put a piece of that, little tiny piece of that chicken skin on a very small hook. When you're hook fishing for freshwater smelts, put that down the hole, pull it up, set your freshly caught bait into the bucket, and he unhooks himself. But that piece of chicken skin will last you the entire night when you're fishing for freshwater smelts. And the same thing when you go out jigging for fish. Put a piece of that, like whitefish. When I jig for whitefish, I put a small piece of that on the end of my my jigging lure. And I use it for absolutely everything. So it's not like, you know, it's a mystery to what fish I'm using it for. A good little piece of chicken skin will work on brook trout, salmon, lake trout. It'll work on all of them, because all it is on the end of your jig, you know, kind of flapping around down there. And I've had very good luck with the chicken skin. So there's my fishing tip. When Glenn asked for a few tips to be thrown in here on ice fishing, that is one of my best baits when it comes to any of the fishing that I do, especially for whitefish and especially for freshwater smelts. But same thing with everything else. It's outside of that, if I don't have a piece of chicken skin, then the first yellow perch I catch or something like that, I will save that in the refrigerator and freeze it up. Bring that ice fishing the next trip I go, and there's lots and lots and lots of bait off a yellow perch that you can use. Places that you probably wouldn't think about. If you get really good at popping the eyeballs out with your hunting knife, you got to kind of scoop them out. If you just kind of jab at it, you'll lose everything. but you get behind the eyeball, pop it out, and you can pull it out, and then you can put that on your jig. That's another good bait. If you get down between the gills, where the two gills split, you'll see there's a Y piece in there. Usually on a yellow perch, it can be white, it can be red, it can be orange. Cut that out and put that on your lure. That's another good jigging bait that comes off a yellow perch. Them are the two pieces I go for first. I don't really put too much skin on. It has something to do with that piece and the eyeballs, and then that's my jigging bait. The eyeballs don't last that long, but all they got to do is last for one fish. So those are my jigging baits that I play with in the wintertime. I've got 4 boards that I got to make shorter so they fit in this fish house for the snowstorm. And then I think that's going to be it. Because it is cold out here today. Cold, cold, cold. But windows came in. Funny thing behind these windows is they came from Home Depot, but they also have a delivery. So they sent the truck to the house, dropped them off. Saved me a trip to Home Depot, it did. But yeah, it'd be nice to get these windows in and get a heater in here. Alrighty. You guys have a great week. I'm going to call it good here, because I don't want that camera out in the cold any more than it has to be anyways. And I'll see you next week.